Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Don't forget, if you like the video, click on like and subscribe and talk about it on chat lines, wherever it is your social media activities, and help us to grow and help more people. I'll talk to you soon. Emily, 19 United States. Thank you very much for that, Emily. Yeah, your question is, can OCD thoughts come and go throughout the day? Do you breathe during the day, or is it once you breathe and that's that's all for the day? Thoughts are involuntarily, they're not your thoughts. You use the apparatus of the brain when you have an intention for certain calculation, figuring out something, learning something, designing something, producing something, accomplishing something. This is when you use the apparatus of the brain to create some thoughts and for a certain purpose. But brain itself uses its apparatus and creates thoughts all day long. 80, 90,000 thoughts a day. That is involuntarily. It's got nothing to do with you. You are the judge to see if anything that shows up, and if you have time to notice it, is of any use to you or not. And if not, you let it die by the wayside and you don't even focus on it or pay attention to it. You ignore it and keep on doing what it is that you're busy with. If something pops up and comes to your attention and you're not busy and you actually did notice it, then you'll decide, you judge it, not to accept it. Just go, oh, thought came in, so I must now go. Boss has said to do this. Oh, yes, okay. No, you're the boss. These apparatuses are all working for you. So if the thought shows up, you judge it, not to accept it. You just judge it. So, oh, okay, I don't have a need for it. You can be there, do whatever you want to do. Just hang in there or hang it out or suggest whatever. I'm not paying attention because that's not my preference. That's not my choice. You see, brain makes thoughts all day long. So thoughts come and go. It's natural, normal for every human being on earth. You don't live by the suggestions and ideas of the brain. You live by your vetoes and choices. The eyes have the ability to see, but not anything that you see has anything to do with you, or you're supposed to continue looking at it or following it or taking its cues. You have the ability to see. That's what the eyes do. So anywhere you look, you see something. But when you see something that is not in line with your values or interesting to you, or to you is obnoxious, you don't look. You just move more further the other way or the other way, and you focus on something else. Just because there's an ability of sight doesn't mean anything that comes to your field of vision is your responsibility, or you created it, or you have to follow it, or you agree with it. No, we see lots of things. Then we judge what we see, if it's useful or not. If I'm looking at a book and learning something, so I keep looking at it and reading it. If I see something I'm not interested, I just put it up, you go next page or somewhere else. Same thing with movies. You see something, you don't like the movie, you turn off the DVD. And same thing with life. You walk around, you see something, you're not happy with it, you don't like the atmosphere or the people hanging out there. The crowd is not of your, preference. You move somewhere else, you look somewhere else. Everything is same. Thoughts the same. Brain brings about all these thoughts. You don't notice them. You focus on what it is that you're doing. And if you did notice them, you see if it's useful or not. If it's not, ignore and go about it. It's involuntarily. It's got nothing to do with you. It's separate systems. All right. And it's not just you. Every human being on earth has intrusive thoughts. The only difference is that when you have OCD, it has a little glitch in a lever called caudate nucleus in the striatum in midbrain that it's supposed to shut down intrusive thoughts automatically. That's why you didn't have a problem with it before. Sometimes it has a glitch, it doesn't shut down, it doesn't do its job right. So when something that is not in line with your values shows up, that it knows about your value with caudate nucleus, your whole system, it goes and shuts it down. When it's malfunctioning, it doesn't shut it down. So it hangs around there. The thought stays in there. And so there's no response going back to prefrontal cortex that, hey, we're not interested in this. Stop making these thoughts. So it's hanging around because it's got no communication going back. Nothing has shut it down. So in that glitch, You're supposed to manually, by your behavior, which is ignoring the thought, send that message that usually coded nucleus sends it automatically by shutting down the process. You send it by you ignoring that thought to where it's supposed to go. And the signal eventually through your behavior towards the suggestion or the thought or the image or idea, by ignoring it, it rewires your brain and gives it the signal that this is not the way we want you to behave. And you retrain the brain through neuroplasticity because of this behavior and reaction of yours toward these thoughts. And it learns, and eventually the glitches back. And even if it doesn't, and whenever intrusive thoughts show up again, you know exactly what they are. So you're not frightened by it, don't react to it. Just, well, yeah, that's just like my intestine. Sometimes it gets diarrhea. So I let it do its thing, but I don't care about it. And I just do what I need to do to fix it. So ignoring it is fixing the diarrhea that your intestine has. So ignoring the thoughts is like fixing the diarrhea. And eventually it comes back to its how it used to be. Anyhow, watch the links of the psychologists and psychotherapists that I put in the playlist of the two playlists on OCD and HOCD that I have. So you can see what the experts and scientists and doctors have talked about it. And you educate yourself, learn more about it. So when these things show up, you won't panic. You won't get frightened. Oh, I'm changing. No, you're not changing. As I said, you're not cow's milk. One day milk, a few days left outside comes sour milk, then it becomes yogurt, and then eventually becomes cheese. No, we don't change. We may have glitches, but we educate ourselves, learn how the psyche works, and we don't panic. We just understand this is the malfunction of the brain. Why? Because brain is very new to us. We lived for millions of years without such a brain. We had stem brain and reptilian brain. And then 40,000 years ago, our brain was developed into this sophisticated one and became more and more sophisticated. But we survived and we lived way before the brain was added to us. So what the brain suggests is not us. I am the judge of what the brain suggests, not that the brain is me. You're not the brain and brain is not you. You're not thoughts and thoughts are not you. You're the judge and the boss of the brain and thoughts and all the other stuff. All right, let's move on to subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what concerning you. I'll talk to you soon. Well, we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing, again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you.
Yeah, no
Thank you very much.